All right, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and a bunch of us decided to get together and do a little bit of St. Patrick's collaboration. And that means just a few of us are going to shoot different videos of different Irish dishes or dishes that will fit within the Irish theme. I was going to do corned beef and cabbage because growing up in the U.S., you hear on St. Patrick's Day corned beef and cabbage. And then I started doing some research and find out that that's really an adaptation of a Jewish dish. I mean, I knew Jewish people were famous in the U.S. for a corned beef. I mean, you go to a Jewish deli, get a corned beef sandwich, fantastic stuff. I do like the corned beef and cabbage, but today, since it's a little more Irish of a day, I am going to do a lamb stew with Guinness. Yep, sounds good to me. Stick around. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, I got my pot. It's getting pretty warm. Put a little oil in here. A little bit more. Swirl it around just a little bit. You don't have to get too carried away with that. I've got some onions. I've got 2 large onions that I've chopped up. I'm going to put those in there. We're going to put just a little bit of salt on our onions. Season those up a little bit and help them cook down. We'll put a little color on these. Alright, our onions are cooking. Now I got 4 tablespoons of flour here. I want to put a little pinch of salt in there. I'm going to put a little salt on our meat. I'm going to put some black pepper in our flour. Also going to put some on the meat. Now I'm going to stir this meat up, put some more salt and pepper on it, kind of do that to my taste. And then what I'll do is I'll take this flour, we'll mix this up. Anyway, I'll be back with you here in just a minute. Alright, now this meat that I have is lamb shoulder. I've got 4 pounds of a lamb shoulder. I bought a boneless lamb shoulder, and I just cut it up into chunks. I didn't want to make it real small. You can dice it smaller if you want to, but I want nice big chunks, and so that's what I've got here, and it's all seasoned up and ready for some flour. Our onions are starting to get a little color, not too much. I'm not really looking for caramelized onions yet. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll take these onions out so we can brown off our meat. Alright, for browning off our meat. Alright, we're going to brown off our meat. What I'm going to do here, put a little more oil in here. I'm going to dip my meat in a little bit of flour. We're going to put it in here. And I've got some fat on some of these pieces. I want to start out with some of the fattier pieces, and I'm going to put them fat side down, kind of render out some of that fat in here, because lamb fat's good stuff. Okay, most of my meat has some nice color on it. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and throw some garlic in here. Put our onions back in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put our beer in here. And we're going to use this to deglaze the pan. Alright, pan has been deglazed and it's returning back to a boil. We're going to throw in a sprig of rosemary. We're going to put the rest of our meat back in the pan. Alright, so now we're going to take and put just a little bit of beef stock in here, just to bring the liquid level up. We don't need to bring it up too much. I think right about there. Kind of push this down a little bit. There we go. Now I've got the temperature down on a low, and we're going to cover this, let it cook for about an hour and a half or so until the pieces are nice and tender. And then we'll put our other veggies in there. Okay, so here it is. Next day. Look, throwing water all over the place. As you can see, we got some fat on the top. What we're going to do, we're going to scrape that off. And then we'll start heating this up. Alright, so our stew is coming up to temperature. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a couple of carrots, a couple of potatoes. We're going to put them in the bowl. And we're going to mash these up, and we're going to use them to help thicken our stew up a little bit. And that's pretty simple. Just take your fork, mash them. This is also a good time to taste for seasoning. See if you want to put any more salt or pepper in here. I think I'm fine. You need just a little bit of salt, but I think I'll be okay. We can always add a little bit in the bowl at the table. Okay, we'll put this back in here. Give that a stir, and then we'll just let that cook for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll eat. All right, we're going to turn this heat off, and we're going to put some of this in a bowl. Yeah, of course, I want nice big chunks. Lots of color. Nice big chunk there. A bit more. There we go. Doesn't that look good? So, how does it taste? One nice big hunk of that lamb. Come on. Yeah, that's really good.